So for my travel therapy, I decided to take a cruise. My cruise was leaving from Barbados, so I flew from Philadelphia to Barbados, and then we visited several islands, which you'll see coming up shortly. So this was my cabin. It was an interior cabin. Next time I cruise, I will definitely get a balcony view. This was all that I needed. It was so comfortable, and it became my home away from home. I really enjoyed myself. So I am at muster station 1, which is where I would go for emergency evacuation. And yeah, so it looks like. So on the first day, I didn't really get to see much of Barbados. The check-in process and testing took so long. So I ended up just going to the ship and walking around exploring, having a little lunch. And the ship was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It is Sunday, March 13th, 2022, and I am on Royal Caribbean's Grandeur of the Sea. This is my first time ever traveling internationally by myself, and everything leading up to it had me really nervous and sad that I was going by myself, and now that I'm here, I am feeling so peaceful. It was a very long day. My flight out of Philly left, it was supposed to leave at 6. It was delayed, but I got to the airport at 3:30 a.m. Had not slept all night. And it's now about 6:30 p.m. Also, there was a time change, so we lost an hour. It was daylight savings. So I'm not in the mood to party tonight, but just something about being near water is so restorative for me, even if I'm not in it. That's the cancer woman in me. But being near this water and looking at these clouds at the sunset, it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And tomorrow I'm gonna party, but today I'm really just enjoying the peace and the view and the tranquility, and I'm so glad that I did this. So day 2 was spent in St. Lucia, and it was gorgeous. I did a beach excursion, and when I arrived, I received several marriage proposals. The most sincere from Mr. Righteous Bob here, which tickled me, but it was gorgeous in St. Lucia. We did a little bit of a tour with our group, and then we just relaxed on the beach. We got a complimentary rum punch, only one, but I remedied that by purchasing several more. The beach was fun, but I then decided to hire a local tour guide, and he took me and our excursion guide on a tour around the island for about 20 or 30 minutes, and it was really a blast. There was lots of rum punch on the boat, and I will admit I did fall out of the boat getting out. That rum punch is strong. It is not to be trifled with, but we had a blast. Day 3 was supposed to be spent in St. Kitts and Nevis. However, we were unable to dock due to high winds and rough waters, so we spent Day 3 at sea. Day 4 was spent in Antigua, and this was really fun. We did an open Jeep tour around the island, which was 128 square miles, so it wasn't a very large island at all. The tour guide told us that there were 365 beaches on Antigua, one for every day of the year. Of course, their biggest income comes from tourism, and so purchasing the tours and buying from the people in the port goes a long way to help support the local economy. So I was happy to do so. The island itself was gorgeous. There were lots of goats, donkeys. The island dogs are so chill. Like, they just cross the street, they walk themselves. It was just gorgeous. We stopped and took pictures at some point, and then there was a beach excursion at the end. But this tour was really great. The only thing I can say is island driving is terrifying. They drive on the left side of the street. There are no traffic lights to speak of, and people pass when they feel like it. Everyone's constantly honking, and it's like they've worked out a system, you can tell, but oh my goodness, I would be done. I would be just a nervous wreck, but it was gorgeous. And of course, there were the beautiful island blooms. Anyone who knows me, or if you follow me on Instagram, you know I am obsessed. I call myself obsessed plant mom. I love flowers. I love plants. They showed us a giant agave, which is used to make tequila. They don't make tequila on this island, but they do grow the agave and export it. But I loved all of the plants and flowers along the river.
Right here.
Look at the baby goats. They were all so cute. And they know how to cross the street. So here is where we stopped along our tour to do just a little bit of sightseeing. We had a little picnic. It was not really a picnic because the only thing we had was copious amounts of rum punch, but it was so therapeutic, and that's why I called this trip travel therapy. I felt myself just being completely drained of every bit of anxiety, stress, and depression. I have been struggling with my mood and struggling with depression, and it's hard because people, they want to know what happened and what's wrong, and sometimes you can't explain that. Sometimes you just can't get happy, and that's the part that people just can't wrap their minds around. So it was either hospitalization or this, and this is what I needed. That night when we got back to the ship, I was able to capture some amazing pictures of the full moon over the Caribbean Sea. I wish I could find another word besides beautiful to describe everything that I saw in the Caribbean, but Grenada was beautiful. They have some really strict laws to help keep the island looking clean and beautiful. If you get caught littering, you can face a $1,500 fine or up to 6 months in jail. There was not a spot of trash anywhere to be seen. Just such a beautiful island. It was gorgeous. Dominica had some very beautiful places. I got to see botanical gardens and just some unbelievable sights. But what really struck me was the poverty, the shacks, and the places where people lived. And then the juxtaposition to these beautiful rivers and waterfalls that we were seeing on these tours, and realizing that I have so much to be grateful for. I have so much to be grateful for. And while I have been looking at the political climates of different African countries, I realized that my people, our people, are all around us and are very close to home and are in these beautiful islands that we go to for tourism, but their quality of life isn't what it should be, in my opinion. And it's just something that I think that we should pay attention to, because while I was totally in awe of all of the beautiful, wonderful sights that I got to see, what really struck me was the warmness and the welcoming people. And it was an honor to be there and to experience their hospitality with the new friends that I made on the cruise. It was just wonderful. St. Vincent. St. Vincent was by far my favorite excursion of the entire trip. We didn't get to see a whole lot of the actual island. We docked and my tour wasn't until 1. So I watched the pilots come aboard the ship and guide us into port. I watched them, maintenance the life rafts. And then we got a little bit of a tour on the bus of the island. We mostly saw some gardens, but then we went to this beautiful black sand beach. I will say this, black sand is super hot. Oh my goodness, I burned the bottom of my feet, but I just figured out that I needed to stay close to the water, but it was so gorgeous. So we took a bus to the beach. We had unlimited rum punch. They served us this soup that I wish I could remember the name of. It was amazing. We got to swim in some caves, and then we took a catamaran around the island and back to our cruise ship. Majestic, just gorgeous, beautiful. I cannot even describe it in words, but the pictures, the videos, I'm so glad I have those to last me forever. As we sailed around this portion of the island, our tour guide told us that this was where they filmed Pirates of the Caribbean. So that was really awesome to see as well.